Hello everyone, my name is William Wang and today I'm going to be joined with Larry Jung, Student Recruitment Officer for CPABC. So Larry, pleased to be joined with you.
Happy to be here, William.
And Larry, you work with students on a daily basis,
Yes.
whether it's high school students or university students, and I'm sure you've come across a lot of myths, a lot of thoughts that, so is accounting really a boring profession?
Well, it's funny you should ask that question because my strategy for outreach to my high school market, high school students and teachers and parents is that it's myth busting 101.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
And the question that you asked, is accounting boring, is one of those myths. You know, back in the olden days, it could have been boring, but today's world is so complex, so many different issues, and accountants have to deal with just about everything. It's not just about crunching numbers or keeping track of things. It's about looking at information and complexity of the world, whether it's technology, geopolitics, social issues, social change, that accountants have to take into consideration everything. So no one day is the same.
Yeah.
And of course, depending what you're doing, right? You know, it can be really super exciting, especially when after you get your designation, you get to do some really complex type work. Now, you can do accounting and do more of the rudimentary, elementary type work. We typically, some of that work we call bookkeeping. But most designated CPAs don't do a lot of bookkeeping. They do more management decision making and financial statements and all that sort of stuff.
So another myth, are all accountants, do they have to be necessarily good at math? Is that bookkeeping, crunching numbers?
Well,
do they have to?
You have to be comfortable at math. You don't have to be a math genius. You don't need calculus actually to do that. We have something called spreadsheets these days. Really, if you're good with arithmetic, you let the spreadsheets do the work.
Oh,
the tricky part about data is that what data are you going to look at? Is it valid? And the job of an accountant is really to make sure that the data makes sense, that it's true, it's accurate, and that it tells you something that you can use to help you make informed business decisions or recommendations.
Sounds good, yeah. And so, Larry, to become a successful accountant these days, what are some habits you need to develop as a student?
Well, you might want to break this down into professional habits and personal habits, right? Professional habits, right? Good with details. That could be a personal habit, right? You must be good with details. You must be accurate. You cannot be satisfied with inaccuracy, okay? Because the numbers do matter,
Yeah.
all right? You have to be focused. Have the ability to be a problem solver with other skills such as critical thinking. I question things. Does that data look right? You're telling me one thing, but when I observe something, it doesn't line up. So be questioning, be inquisitive, but be collaborative as well, because you can't do everything yourself. And much of the information that an accountant needs comes from other people, right? In addition to accounting systems. So, you know, good work habits. It helps if you want to be earn your designation, your CPA. You have to have good study habits. Right? It's a rigorous program, just like being a good student.
Yes.
You have to have good work habits and study habits. So lots of different things. Personality-wise, you can be an introvert or an extrovert or anything in between. It really doesn't matter. We have all types of people who become accountants.
Yeah, that's the beauty of it, because anybody can become an accountant.
Should you choose, that's your lane. Yeah,
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. And so, Larry, today in our world, we have all these new technologies like AI, ChatGPT, artificial intelligence, robots, and all that. So do you think the profession of accounting will be fully or at least partly replaced by AI in the future?
Again, let's break it up into something called accounting work and bookkeeping work. A lot of the bookkeeping work now has already been replaced by technology.
It's
automated, right? You go through a store, you buy something, you scan it, it's registered as sale, credit in your sales, credit cash, and debit it or deduct your inventory, right?
Yeah.
Please, I'm not an accountant, by the way. But so it's taking care of a lot of that stuff. But the decision making, you know, there is technology out there that will help you get to a point where the person with a lot of skills, a lot of broad knowledge and information and problem-solving skills, and the ability to discern junk data from good data, right, can actually take that knowledge and make a decision. I'm not sure if AI is there yet. It might be, but we are actually, as a profession, we always embrace technology, and we look at it to see how it impacts the public good. One of our mandates, very important, is to public safety, because to give bad information and not do due diligence and give good advice to people who need your services would be very bad for the client and the profession.
Yeah,
right?
I see.
So use AI judiciously, but understand what it can do, understand what it can say. I think it's important, but I don't think it'll eliminate the new breed of accountant who are trained to look at all things that might impact a situation. And accountants are really trained to be highly adaptable and able to pivot given the different circumstances in the world.
I see. And so, Larry, what is the job market currently for accountants in British Columbia?
Well,
can they find jobs?
Absolutely. At all different levels right now. There are a lot of people retiring, and there's also competition from different sectors and different professions for people with similar skill sets that accounting people typically have. So right now, there's approximately, according to data, that there is approximately 40,000 jobs will be available between 2019 and 2028. So lots of opportunities. And accounting firms that do accounting for other people, they don't have enough. Right? They're always looking for more people, and that's why they're heavily involved in post-secondary recruitment, and that's why we, CPABC, that's why we're starting to outreach to high school students to sort of plant the seeds of curiosity so that they can start investigating accounting as a potential career.
I see. And so for the students who want to select accounting as a major, even in high school, if you want to take accounting as course selection, what are your advice and recommendations?
Okay. Well, as a career practitioner, I've been doing career advising for about 20 years. The most important thing to have is information and then the ability to decipher it. What makes sense for you? What doesn't make sense? Talk to a lot of different people, gather as much information you can so you can make an informed decision. The next step, of course, is to make a plan.
Yeah.
Something called typically a career action plan. And that'll include what academics you need to take, what work experience you might want, what volunteer experience you might need, and so on and so forth. And to build those other skills, not just your technical accounting skills, but to build those what we call soft skills or enabling skills, enabling skills to help you become a professional, right? Build all those skills and, to be able to prepare you to do the job. And then it's a matter of researching and finding where you might best fit. Do you want to work in the profit world or nonprofit world? Do you want to work in the mining industry, or do you want to work in the human service industry?
Yeah.
Are you interested in sports? Are you interested in entertainment? Are you interested in financial empowerment for specific groups of people? So whatever your interest area is, figure out what you need to do to be skilled or knowledgeable to set yourself up for success.
I see. And so, Larry, do you have any more things you can say to those like high schoolers or university students who want to pursue? What is your final piece of advice?
My final piece of advice is, I think if you can find a place where you can practice what you're good at and you enjoy it and you're giving something back to your community, then I consider that finding as a marketer, I call it your place of bliss, right? Where everything is sort of lined up, right? For those of you who've taken a career life education class, you might have heard of the term Ikigai, Ikigai, where all those different spheres and your values and your purpose align in one spot, and that one spot is your place of bliss, where called Ikigai, where you can find something that's fulfilling for you, that is in the right industry, that you have fun at, and hopefully helps you financially as well. Because if you want to live in Vancouver, you got to have some financial stability.
Just find your happy place.
Find your happy place, right? And if you can give back to the world as a whole, absolutely. Whether it's your family, your neighbors, your community, the city of Vancouver, the country, whatever that might be.
Yeah. So, Larry, thank you so much again for joining me on today's episode of The Phoenix. And we'll catch you guys later.
Great. Thanks very much, William. I appreciate the time. Take care, everybody. Good luck with everything.